Today's possibly my last interview of the year, but definitely one of the most special because today I'm going to be talking with Isabela Merced about her music career, and I'm so happy because she's one of my favorite artists. So let's get on into the interview. So I met you for the first time at the Instant Family press day in Miami, and I know you co-wrote one of the songs, I'll Stay. So I know that you've always loved music, but your acting career always came first. So when did you find the perfect time to unleash your music career?
I don't really know. Like, I didn't really plan it. It just kind of, I always was writing songs, you know, from a very young age. Like that, I feel like music was my first love. And I always kind of had like these movies in my mind that I imagined with each song that I write. And so it kind of came, acting kind of came naturally to me. So I kind of put music on hold because that happened really fast. You know, acting kind of took off. And then, you know, finally I felt like, all right, it's the right time. I think it started with a few conversations with some people in the industry, and they heard my covers on Instagram. And they were like, hey, sounds cool. You want to get a label? And I was like, okay. You know, so it just kind of happened naturally. And with that, I changed my name. And I was like, this is a new me. I'm starting a new career. And yeah, that's kind of why I did it.
That's awesome. And I think you're doing so well right now. And you've been singing since like forever. But your career, I think it mainly kicked off when you released your first single, Papi. And
yeah.
And you also have an EP that you released in March in 2020. So what do you think the most challenging aspect of music is?
I'm never gonna call you Papi. Probably just like, well, it depends, because if you're talking generally, like, music is just, the most challenging part is that there's no rules, I think. So you just kind of have to really know what you like. And when it comes to like good music, you have to kind of expose yourself, you know? You have to really put yourself out there. And I think that's the most challenging part for everyone. I look at music mostly, and especially when I write it, as like a form of therapy. And when I look back at it, it's like reading your journal entry from like a year ago, and you're like, look how far I've come. I was so naive. And that's kind of how I look at it. And the songs I release now, they're more like pop and upbeat and happy, and that's kind of my contribution to the world so far. But I'm excited to release like new projects that mean now my music. And you know, I love it so much, it inspires me, and I figured, you know, why not? There's so much undiscovered Peruvian talent out there. Like, some homies that I've been working with lately are Peruvian producers and Peruvian just like artists in general that I want to collaborate with, and I just can't wait to like show them to the world, because they're very underrated. I'm very excited.
Yeah, and I know in your music video with Don't Go with Dana Paola, I could really see like a lot, you're very proud obviously of your Latino heritage, and in the music video I could see like a lot of Latino or Peruvian references, like your dress and your earrings. So can you kind of talk about that?
Yeah, wait, which dress? Because like I definitely just like the outfits, I feel like I just kind of like them, but when it came down to like the jewelry, that's where I was like, that's where I really want to show the beautiful, you know, pieces, because you know, it runs in my family. My family had a jewelry business, and they really love jewelry. And I'm talking about my mom's side of the family, and my grandma specifically. She was this really smart businesswoman who always incorporated gold into her pieces, and she was all about jewelry. And it was just like she was always dripping. And because of that, I was like, damn, you know, I gotta do the same. I gotta put some respect on it. I'm taking one of her names, so I might as well represent her in that way. So like, I'm always about jewelry.
Awesome. Yeah, I think jewelry is also an important part in like fashion, I guess. It can make statements as well. And how was it filming at I think it's called Houdini, the mansion that you filmed at for the music video?
Yeah, the Houdini estate. Yeah, like, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he was some crazy magician. Like, he was really into like illusions and making people think that he was locked up, or, you know, like, he was just a master at that. So his house is really like a reflection of that, and it has all kinds of like hidden passageways, or like stairs with spikes in the seat. So it's like, why do you have that? Sorry, chairs with spikes in the seat. So it's like, why do you have that chair? It will hurt to sit down on it, but it's an illusion, because if you sit down, they're actually like rubber, but they look spiky. Just like little things like that just kind of make the house what it is. It's just so full of his personality, and I love that. It was so fun. Like, and he also was rich, so it's like huge. It's a huge place.
And you've also collaborated with like a bunch of people, like Sebastian Guitarra. Yeah, and my only one from, you reached 5 million plays on Spotify, which I think that's crazy. That's like insane.
That's a lot of numbers.
Yeah,
A lot of big numbers.
So, who other like artists do you think you would like to collaborate with in the future?
Oof. I've always said like Rosalia because I think she's really cool and her tone is really dope. And I feel like we both have kind of like a really soft voice. So Rosalia. Also, I don't know. This is a tough question. Like there's so many artists, so I'm kind of at a loss for words. Frank Ocean. I really admire Frank Ocean. He's super dope, and I like when I write songs, I'm like, what would Frank Ocean do here? So yeah.
Do you think you're leaning more towards your music career or your acting career? Are you trying to balance them out?
Right now, I'm definitely leaning more towards my music career, just because like during quarantine, I've gotten a lot of really bad scripts because people are just trying to get their like crap projects out right now, and they're just kind of like the movies aren't really being fully just like it's just I haven't found a really good script, and so I'm being really picky because during quarantine, you have to be in quarantine when you're filming. Like when you're filming, you can't leave your apartment only if it's necessary. Some places they have people going and get your groceries for you, and then you go straight to set and you go straight home. You have no life. And I would rather be in the studio writing, to be honest, if that's what it comes down to. Like I need to live my life. So if it's the right project, I'll go and film it, but so far I really want to focus on my music, and it's been great. Like it's been really fulfilling and scary, but also overall just really fun.
Yeah, I relate to that. Because I think with self tapes and just like recording at home, it's safer, but at the same time, like going somewhere, not really the best idea right now. So
yeah, and like that's kind of what I signed up for, you know. I kind of signed up to be in an industry. I signed up to be surrounded by people. I signed up to be, you know, with an audience, performing in front of an audience. So it's just like for a minute I was really lost because this quarantine kind of like forced me away from that. And so I kind of was like, damn, do I really want to be doing this if I'm not going to be able to do what I signed up for? But I've managed to make the most of it. And finally, for the first time ever, I'm performing this Saturday my song Don't Go, and it's going to be live, and it's going to be with like a bunch of dancers, and it's going to be so much fun because it's like my vision that I had for it, and it's super fun, like full of energy. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. And okay, so now I want to ask you, because we're kind of getting into the holiday spirit now. It's December and everything. So are you more like traditional Christmas songs? Because you also have Caliente Navidad.
I don't know. I'm pretty versatile. Like I love a good dance song, then I love a good like intimate, classic, orchestral, you know, composition. I don't know. I'm like kind of all over the place, to be honest. If you look at my Spotify, you're gonna be like, what is her taste in music? I have no idea. And it's kind of the same for the music that I write. It's kind of all over the place, but I feel like, you know, Caliente Navidad's for fun. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas is for fun, because I got to like embrace my Broadway training side of my voice, and you know, it's just different. I just kind of want to keep people on their toes. I just want to do whatever I want, because at this point, it's like, why not? You know, I'm only living my life for myself.
Now with Caliente Navidad, I think it has like a really good twist than the traditional holiday music. So where did the inspiration from that come from?
Well, so basically this song, I wrote it because I had spent my first like hot Christmas, meaning like temperature wise, in Peru in 2019, and I had always spent Christmases in Cleveland, and it was super freezing cold, and for the first time ever I experienced a hot Christmas, and I was like, I love this, I'm never going back. So I'm actually going back to Peru this year to spend Christmas and New Year's there again because I loved it so much, and I'm also going to be working there at the same time. But yeah, that's my excuse, is the work, but I actually want to go there for the holidays. And the second meaning behind it was like, I met this dude. When I said I met this dude, he's my ex, and we dated for like a year. We dated for like a year, but this dude, we're just gonna go with this dude. And he was very like conservative, very shy, very white, just like overall just the opposite of what my mom's side of the family is, which they're crazy and they're just like extra, and they're a lot to handle. And I thought it was a good idea to introduce him to them on Christmas and bring him to the party that we have. And it was so funny, just like watching his reaction and like him just being so overwhelmed and intimidated, and I was like, yeah, this is how we do Christmas. And I just thought it was so funny, so I wanted to write a song about that experience. I'm sure it was scarring for him though.
Imagine him just like listening to the song like, oh, is that about me?
I hope he doesn't, because like I don't think he should flatter himself that much. I don't think any of my exes should, because it's like inspiration, but it's not like a documentary or anything. So like if you're listening to this, don't be cocky, you know, like it's not about you.
So this Saturday, you're going to be part of Univision's Televisión. Music is powerful, and I feel like it really has, it can really connect people and bring people together. So how important do you think is to use your voice for good things?
Well, I mean, I feel like when you're an artist, you know, it's all about what you use your voice for, right? And so, you know, any opportunity that I'm gonna get to like do something good with the attention that I have, I'm gonna jump on it like more times than not. Shout out to the people who are gonna be performing this weekend, because like it's for a good cause, and shout out to the people who are gonna be watching and tuning in and donating, because this cause is really important. It's called CRIT organization, and it's basically like a rehab center / hospital for these kids that are recuperating from like physical and mental injuries, and it just helps them re-enter the world as like functioning members of society. And I think this is more crucial than ever to be generous with your donations, because these families are really suffering, and it's more than ever, you know, because it's really screwed us over in this pandemic. So I mean, yeah, if like you want to join, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of my friends and I like performing music and just having a good time. And I'll even be answering some calls like, hey, how much would you like to donate today? I've been practicing. And yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm excited.
Me too. Well, thank you so much for talking with me about your music career, and I had such a fun time.
Thank you so much. So it was really good to see you again. And thanks to your mom for being here and supporting you. Yeah, thank you so much. I hope I see you soon and in person. You can say hi to Pluto.
Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this interview as much as I did. And if you liked it, make sure to give this a thumbs up. Check out my music video that I posted on this channel as well. Follow me at my Instagram at Zoe the Movies and on TikTok at Zoe.Canela. And happy holidays!